It has just been reported that Ange Postecoglou's future is set to be decided next week, and a number of Premier League bosses' names have been thrown into the hat should Postecoglou leave Spurs in the near future. Reports are stating that Spurs want £40 million for Richarlison. Everton and Leeds are after Manor Solomon this summer, and reports in Germany are stating that Spurs target Leroy Sané is now talking about a new deal to Bayern Munich, so it is unlikely that he will be moving to the Premier League. Hi everyone, hope you're all well. My name is Chris Cowlin and this is another episode of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start by talking about a report from Sky Germany all about Tottenham Hotspur target Leroy Sané. Arsenal and Tottenham target Leroy Sané has been offered improved terms to remain at Munich. It is said that recent talks between the Bayern hierarchy and the ex-Manchester City wingers' representatives were received positively, with the Bundesliga champions improving on their initial offer that was rejected by Sané. The Bayern hierarchy is eager to extend Sané's contract. A final decision is yet to be made. Sky Sports have also reported that Tottenham Hotspur still have time to make Matisse Tell's loan from Bayern Munich permanent. Spurs, who have a £45 million option in the deal for Tell, are yet to confirm their plans for the forward. Now, for a couple of reports from the Daily Mail, they are stating that Tottenham would be willing to sell Richarlison this summer for around £40 million. The Daily Mail have also stated that Leeds United are pushing to sign Manor Solomon on a permanent deal this summer, but the Whites are being forced to wait on a potential move due to continued uncertainty around Ange Postecoglou's future as Tottenham Hotspur boss, and various other reports are stating that Everton are also interested in signing Manor Solomon from Spurs this summer. Now, it was announced on Saturday morning that Sergio Reguilón has left Tottenham Hotspur Football Club following the expiry of his contract. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano stated that Sergio Reguilón is assessing options on the market as he is available as free agent, with several clubs making contact. Movements already started after former Real Madrid and Manchester United left-back said goodbye to Spurs. And then a report was published by L'Équipe in France, and they are stating that AS Monaco are looking to secure the signing of free agent Sergio Reguilón. The left-back is now a free agent as Europa League winners Tottenham Hotspur officially announced on Saturday that they would not renew the Spaniard's contract. Now, a big report out today from the Daily Telegraph, and they are stating that Ange Postecoglou's future at Tottenham Hotspur is set to be decided next week, with sources viewing his position as under extreme risk, despite winning the Europa League. Chairman Daniel Levy has been away from the UK in the last couple of days, while Postecoglou has been on holiday, and a decision on whether to sack the Australian coach is pending. Spurs will make major changes in key departments this summer, and a change of manager has been anticipated in some quarters. The Daily Telegraph have also stated that Brentford's Thomas Frank will be in the frame should Ange Postecoglou depart, with the Danish coach's work with young players at the G-Tech Community Stadium admired. Fulham's Marco Silva is also highly rated, as is Andoni Iraola, although he is expected to stay at Bournemouth. This report then goes on to say that Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish, meanwhile, was adamant that Oliver Glasner would stay at Selhurst Park after winning the FA Cup. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Now, at the time of making this video, we are about an hour away from the transfer window officially opening on the 1st of June. So there are going to be a lot of rumours, a lot of reports, and I'll pretty much cover every single one of them during the transfer window. I know some people, and I say this every single transfer window, I know some people absolutely love all of the rumours and some people absolutely hate it. Now, I would say if you love it, stay with me. I will be covering everything on this channel throughout the whole of the window. If you absolutely hate it, just avoid these videos, avoid these episodes, and perhaps just watch and listen to the podcast rather than these Tottenham news and the 60-second updates, because there is going to be a hell of a lot. There always is, and certainly with this upcoming window with Spurs, needing vast improvements in this squad to get us back up to where we belong in the top 4 in the Premier League. And of course, we need to, strengthen our squad for Champions League football for next season. So there is going to probably be more reports than ever before. So, like I've said, stay with me if you love it, and perhaps just switch off for a couple of months, probably a couple of months, while we, go through every single one of them. So, yeah, hopefully you'll stay with me. Now, Leroy Sané, he is now talking to Bayern Munich about a new improved deal because Bayern Munich obviously want him to stay. I said this on a previous episode, £250,000 per week. I felt like it was going to be unlikely at Spurs, and if he's going to get any more money than that, then we haven't got a chance in signing him, because we just don't pay, some wage demands like other top European clubs do. Whether that will change in the future, let's wait and see, but certainly not now. I can't see Leroy Sané signing for Spurs. I'd love to see him in a Spurs shirt. I've said this in previous episodes. I'd love to see him back in the Premier League. I think he's a top player, and can score goals, can provide that killer pass as well, and a really hard-working player as well. So that'd be a shame. But what I would say is that Spurs just need to move on to the next target. If it's not happening, move on to the next target, because the transfer window is almost open, and we need to move quick. We are seeing other Premier League clubs, our rivals, lining deals up, trying to get deals done very, very early on, and that is exactly what we need to do. We have seen it under Ange Postecoglou a couple of times during his 4 windows at the club that we have moved quickly in some of them. That needs to continue. We cannot sit on our hands when it comes to, top targets. We need to be bringing them in, and we need to, get these players in as quickly as possible and start strengthening our squad, as I said, in order for us to climb up that Premier League table and feel comfortable about, going into Champions League football. Now, on Saturday night, I watched PSG absolutely cane Inter Milan. We are playing them in the Super Cup final on the 13th of August. I tell you what, for that game, we need a lot of reinforcements in, and we need a lot of improvements in if we have any chance of competing in that game against PSG, because that is going to be very, very difficult. But as I keep saying, in the Champions League next year, these are the sorts of teams that you're going to come up against. So, we need a top squad for next year. And I feel like, and I've said this many, many times on previous episodes, I feel like the board are under a lot of pressure to deliver. Johan Lange is under a lot of pressure to deliver. We haven't had the confirmation yet from the club that Fabio Paratici is coming back, because of course his ban, I think, is up on the 30th of June. So, let's wait and see what happens there. But the club need to have a clear plan, a very clear plan, and to bring in top talented players to improve this squad. There's absolutely no question and doubt about that. Now, Ange Postecoglou's future, the Daily Telegraph have reported that it's going to be decided next week. I don't feel like they have got any more information than anyone else at the moment. I feel like that is just a guess. And as I said on a previous episode as well, Ange Postecoglou does have a 4-year contract. So as far as he is concerned, as far as anyone else is concerned, he's gone off on holiday, and he comes back and he starts his job until, if someone tells him not to. But I've no doubt that at some point they will need to have a discussion to say, look, these are the plans. This is the plan going forward. We need X, Y, and Z players in. You would hope that a lot of these conversations have already taken place, but they probably need to happen again. A lot of names are being thrown in the hat. Thomas Frank, Marco Silva. We've seen this the last couple of months, and we've seen a lot of reports in the last couple of months saying exactly the same thing. Everton and Leeds United want Manor Solomon. I expect Manor Solomon to go out the door. He had a very, very good and successful loan spell at Leeds United. Mainly the reason why Leeds United are back in the Premier League. A really good loan spell from him. £40 million apparently Spurs want for Richarlison. I've said on previous episodes, and it's not just, the last couple. I've said this for, probably a long time, probably a year or so, that I feel like if Spurs got a decent offer in for Richarlison, I'd probably sell him. I was very, very impressed with Richarlison in the Europa League final against Manchester United. I feel like that was probably one of his best, if not his best game in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt. And we will remember Richarlison, being part of the team that lifted the Europa League trophy. But I do feel like someone like Richarlison needs a new challenge, somewhere else. And even if it was back at Everton, he is a player that demands and needs a lot of love around him, and the Everton fans and everyone connected to Everton Football Club would certainly give him that. The amount of times when I've gone back to either watching Spurs at Everton or indeed Liverpool, because a lot of the stewards who are Everton fans actually work at Liverpool, and they always talk with such fondness about Richarlison, and they would love a return for Richarlison. And I just feel like it is a match made in heaven for the club and for him, because he is absolutely adored. And I feel like we could probably put the money, if a bid of £40 million come in and we accepted it, I feel like that money we could put to really, really good use, and just reshape the squad, bring in some really, really decent players, experienced players as well. Not that Richarlison isn't experienced, but he's just had a lot of difficulties at Spurs, and I feel like a player like him winning the Europa League, being part of that starting 11 as well in the Europa League final, I feel like to leave Spurs on a real high, having won a trophy, I feel like he would feel really good about that as well. And, he needs that fresh challenge, in my opinion. So for £40 million, I'd definitely let Richarlison go. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.